Greetings, viewers, and welcome to a journey through the tracks of time with Quick Gallop, Jaya.com, and its YouTube channel, The Quick Galloper. In this lifetime narrative, we go through the life of a figure whose name has become synonymous with tenacity and resilience in the world of horse racing, Everton Miller. Miller was a natural talent, blessed with an innate connection to horses. Fate, however, is an unpredictable jockey, steering lives through twists and turns. A series of events unfolded, each a hurdle more challenging than the last, testing the spirit and will of Miller. Now, at the age of 56, an age when many would have long hung up their silks, the passion for horse racing burns undiminished. Prepare to be enthralled by the narrative of a life spent in the saddle, a chronicle of both the love for a sport and the unyielding determination to remain within its embrace. Join us as the Quick Galloper presents the intriguing and captivating story of Jockey Everton Miller.
You have just come back from an injury. You got a spill sometime last year and you were out for a while.
Yes.
And you're just back into action. How is the body feeling now?
Good. Give thanks to the Creator for bringing me back. I had a broke foot and a break hand, and it had set me back for about a year and 3 months. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, getting a break hand and a break foot at the age of 56-year-old is kind of hard to heal properly, fast. Not as young when you're young at 30 or 20 years old. So it takes a little while to heal, but I'm good right now. I'm good. I'm back. I'm very fit. A little lighter, so I give thanks to be here.
Good to know, and we're happy to see you back.
Thank you very much.
But let's start at the top. The name Everton Miller is a household name here in Jamaican horse racing. I mean, your legacy speaks for itself. But how did it all start for Everton? At what age were you first introduced to horse racing?
I remember 1977, my father took me into racing. I remember. I think it was the age of 8, I think. Yeah. Took me from Mandeville and take me straight to Camillus Park. Yes, I remember went to Life with You stable. After Life with You had get suspension, and after Life with You had get suspension, I went to Delroy Wallace stable. Delroy Wallace had get suspension. Delroy Wallace had get suspension, and I went to Wayne DeCaster. So I get my license 79, and I start riding 1980.
So the late great Wayne DeCaster was your apprentice master?
Yes, the late great Wayne DeCaster. Yeah,
but let's back up a little bit. How did that, at such a tender age, how did that affect your schooling, Everton?
You know, it didn't affect my schooling because they had a school down by this 5th Street where every apprentice have to go to that school. And then after that school, Mr. DeCaster get me into Eastern Academy School. I had to quit school because of, you know what, racing. I had to quit school because of a race that take place and Jockey gets suspension and trainer gets suspension, so I had to quit school because of that. I think in 1982, I think. After that, I didn't went to any school.
Okay, all right. Take me back through your apprenticeship period. What was it like? What was the feeling the first time you mounted a horse?
It was a good feeling, and I wasn't scared. The first time I mounted a horse, it was that year. I think it was 77, I think. A horse by the name of War and Peace, Candy, put me on that horse. The groom Desert of Malibu. I don't remember his
Candyman.
Full name.
Thompson.
But he's the one who put me on the first horse. Yeah, he's still working at Sobriety Stable. I remember. The horse railed up with me. I never fall. Yeah, I remember he told me to hug up the horse, and I hug up the horse. And then from that day until today, any horse that railed up with me, I hug up the horse so the horse can go back down.
So what was the period like, learning the rudiments of the game?
Well, to me, it was fun, you know. because I had gained a love for horses that tender age, so it was kind of fun for me, a good experience. My first ride in a race was Gold Flinch, 1980. Yeah. My first win, St. Peter.
What year?
1980. Yeah, 1980. I had a double, St. Peter Blue Star.
How long after you started riding?
I think about 7 months after I started riding, I won my first race.
And who was the trainer for the first one?
Norman Palmer. Norman Palmer was the trainer. Norman Palmer, he also taught me a lot about riding too. Yeah.
What was that feeling like winning your first race, Everton?
Very good feelings. Very, I can remember now, very good feelings because it's your first win. You know, so it's a very good feeling. I was excited and then win a second race again on the same day. I was very, you know, I was overjoyful.
You remember the races? Tell me about them. How did you win those races?
St. Peter,
particularly the first one.
St. Peter, I remember Norman Palmer telling me to ride a good race, but try to get a good break and stay close to the pace and ride the last 3 furlong, and that's exactly what I did. I think the race was going 7.5 furlong, I remember.
You remember who you beat in terms of jockey?
Capital Winter.
Okay.
Capital Winter. I don't remember the horse, but Capital Winter, and I think Robert Weedward had ride in the race too. Yeah.
And the second one?
And the second one is Blue Star, but I didn't remember who I beat on Blue Star, but I remember winning my second race on Blue Star.
How did that race unfold? Lead, what?
No, it came from behind. Yeah.
Typical Everton Miller style. Produce them.
Yes.
All right, so you started there, and tell us how it developed to you becoming one of the top riders here, because you were in a period with Emilio, Winston, Hubert would have come on the scene at the time, I believe.
Well, when I started riding at that time, I was one of the lightest sprinters. I could take 7 pounds off of 90. Now we don't claim 7 no more, it's 10. But that time, back in those days, it takes 7 off of 90, so I was very light. More top riders was around that time, more competition. Because you have the great Emilio Radicits, the great Vincent Griffiths, George Sang, Charlie Hosey, Derek Ramjeet, Gillespie, Neville Anderson, and Dana Van Linden. I get a little piece of Arthur Jones, So it was more competition. And of course I beat all of them. So I become one of the top apprentices at the time. So it was great, it was good feeling back then,
Because you were learning from some of the best.
Yes, I was learning from the best, from the best,
And then, was it what, 86 that you came up on this, or 87, Monday morning?
Yeah, 87.
87.
87. I won the Derby and
the 2,000 guineas.
And the 2,000 guineas that year on Monday morning, 1987.
How did you come to get the leg up on that horse?
I remember Steve Cross riding him in the Toyota Cup, and I watched the race, and there was 2 horses finished that race, Shining Hour on Monday morning. And I said, but if Steve Cross can ride that horse, not saying I'm classic Steve Cross as a no-go jockey, but I was saying that if Steve Cross can get the horse to run, I can get him run better. So I went to the connection and I asked to ride, and I get the ride. And so at the time, it was Philly who was training it at the time. And I get the ride.
All right, so tell us about the 2,000 guineas. Because that would have been your first classic.
Yes, my first classic
victory.
Yeah. Well, I feel the horse each morning. I get on him, and I feel like I have a classic horse, and the horse responds to me good. So at the day of the races, the trainer tell me try to get a good break and don't get into any interference, and the horse, and ride him up the straight, and that's exactly what I did, and I won my first classics.
And it was a fairly easy win too,
Yeah,
right?
it was a fairly easy win. And then the same year I moved on to the Derby. I remember they had invited Michael Lee to ride a horse named Persian Ruler. for Michael Mattis. I was told I'm going to get beaten in the derby. A lot of people was doubting Monday morning getting 12 furlong because he was bred by FJC Jedi, and you know that's a sprinting line. But thanks to the connection and the trainer, well prepared that day, and I came out successful.
Was there any doubt or any concerns
No.
considering that the horse had changed barn
No.
to Venus?
There was no doubt. I know the horse and the horse know me, so there was no doubt. There was no doubt.
Take us through the derby.
For my jump, I know I won the derby because I draw, I think, 14 or 15. Yeah. I could have lead, but I didn't lead. I just jump and sit close to the place and know it's a 12 furlong. And I try to save him as best as possible because I know he's the FJC Jedi. And I think leaving the half mile, I decided to move. Still saving for the stretch because I know the distance. And I win easily in a record time. I think I won in a record time. And after that, I think it's Prince Consort or the Viceroy come and break that record.
Viceroy.
Yeah.
230 and something.
Yes. Yeah. I was so bad lucky that I didn't get to ride him in the Triple Crown.
The St. Pleasure.
Yeah, the St. Leonard. The reason for that, after I had won the derby, we decided that we were going to wait on the St. Leger to seal the Triple Crown. So I went to Barbados. I was supposed to spend like about a month or 3 weeks up there and came back for the final leg of the Classics. Then I get a call that the horse is going to run in the Pepsi race going a mile. So I was saying to the owner, why you want to run in that A-class race going a mile after you just run 12 furlong? You know, so you're going to move from 12 furlong to sprint against A-class horse. I think that's not good. Him say if you want to ride the horse in the St. Leather and win the Triple Crown, you have to come and ride him. So I come and ride the horse in the Pepsi, knowing that I'm going to lose the race, but still ride the horse, because I tell him that before the horse entered that him cannot run 12 furlong and then come sprint against the top country horses going a mile. Him feel like I pull up the horse when I ride the horse and finish fifth, I think. So I end up losing the ride in the St. Leger. That's why I didn't win the Triple Crown. I was kind of disappointed because at the time Steve Carton was the youngest jockey to win the Triple Crown in 16. So I was trying to be the second youngest one, but it never manifests. Yeah.
But the derby, winning a derby, I mean, it's every jockey's dream, wherever you are.
No matter where you are in the world, once you are a jockey, you want to win
a derby. And you did.
And I did.
What, I mean, were you the greatest at the time or what? What was the feeling for you?
I would say I was the greatest at the time. I was just blessed at the time to have the horse, and everything was in my favor at the time, you know. Yeah, so.
Can you recall any other major races that you have won here at Caymanas Park or abroad?
I won some races on Mr. D from my apprentice master, Mr. DeCosta. I think I won about 4 races at Mr. D, all cup races. Skytrain, I won 3 races on Skytrain. He was the next A-class horse. One of the records is still there. I think I set 3 records. One still outstanding, the 7.5 furlong.
Still standing.
Still standing. 129.2. Yeah. I ride some horses for Fiani. Some good horses for Fiani. Rough and Tough, Kazantar, Cheetah. I won on Royal Dad. When Royal Dad came back from the Classic, I won the Frankie Fraser Memorial Cup going 1 mile.
You also won with open account.
Yes, I also won the Oaks with open account. Yeah. Some more top A-class horses that I can't really remember, but I would say Skytrain, Royal Dad, Mr. D, Monday morning. Those are the best horses that I ride.
What would have been your best day here outside of winning the derby in terms of numbers? Winning races on a particular day. What's your maximum win on any one given day?
I had nine rides one day, and I win 4 and run 3 seconds.
So of 9 rides, you won 4
Yeah.
and had 3 seconds on that particular day.
Yeah, I think that was the year I was. I think that year me and Bartley was going for the championship, and I think I was trying to win 2 championships that year. I was trying to win the Barbados championship that year, and I was trying to win the Jamaican championship that year. Ended up losing both of them.
By narrow margins?
Yeah, I ended up losing the one in Jamaica by I think 4. And in Barbados I ended up losing by 2. But I was trying to win 2
championships. That's like a Superman kind of thing.
Yes, I was trying my best, but I didn't get through. You know?
About how many winners you have ridden here at Cayman Spa?
Locally, that I can remember, I think I had ridden over 400 winners locally, you know, and 100 and something overseas. Yeah.
As you talk about overseas, tell us some of the countries you have ridden.
But you know, I've been ridden all about in the Caribbean.
But name the countries nonetheless.
Trinidad, Barbados, St. Croix, Virgin Island, Martinique, Calder Racetrack.
So you're now in Florida?
Yeah, Calder Racetrack, Gulfstream.
And how you find racing in those jurisdictions, particularly the Gulfstream and Calder?
Yeah, I would say more advanced. I would say that because I would say more advanced. Yeah.
So you're in the saddle from 1980. We're now 2024. That's 44 years.
Yes.
If my maths serves me right.
Yes.
That's a long time in the saddle, Everton.
Yeah.
How have you enjoyed the journey?
I enjoy it, you know. I enjoy it well. What make I enjoy it well? Because I love the sport. I love riding. I love horses, and that keep me going. You know, that keep me going. A lot of people said, Everton, you reach an age that you can retire now and start training horses. I don't ready to start training horses yet. I still love riding, and I still feel good in myself. You know, I try to stay fit. You know, my swimming, my skipping, my running, and I still love riding.
Have you put any timeline on, or the body will dictate when you say, hey, let's hang up this riding thing?
The way how I love riding right now, I would say when the body said, you know, yeah, because I really truly love riding.
And for someone who has done it so well for so long, do you think, and without being conceited or anything, do you think that you have maximized the potential and the God-given gift that you were given?
No. I get hampered.
Tell us about it.
The hamper that I get is the year when a race run and I didn't want to take part, and that's the hamper I get. Out of that, a trainer gets suspension and a jockey gets suspension. They say that I snitch, which I don't see it as snitch. Something went down and I speak the truth, and the truth set me free. You know, and because I've thought the truth, it hampered me. Because I remember at the time I had to stop going to school. My advisor at the time and my lawyer at the time, Honorable Pat Russell at the time, had to get police to protect me for 6 months. I had to left Jamaica. That's how I end up in Barbados to start riding. I have to left Jamaica because I've threatened all of that. So I get hampered because of that experience. Yeah.
Mentally, how did you cope with that?
It wasn't good because I was young and I was scared. You know, so it wasn't a good experience. It wasn't a good experience going to school, seeing gunman coming to you, not knowing them is gunman, you know, but they coming to ask for you and claiming that they are police, asking you for you and claiming that to be police, and I'm like, I don't know them, so how come they're asking for me? So it wasn't a good experience. I had to run from school that day. So it wasn't a good experience.
On a more favorable side, tell me some of the riders who would have earned your respect over the years, from you started till now? We're talking about riders here.
You know, all of the top riders, them respect me. All of them show me respect and love. Every one of them. Every one of them. All who you see I call names that I ride against, they show me respect and they show me love. And they give me good encouragement, especially Winston Griffiths. Yeah.
And I might ask the same about trainers.
Yes. Well, over the years, as you can see, I still get support from Fiani. I was talking to him the other day on the phone, I was saying, Philip, you know that from I was a young lad, 14, 15, and now I'm a big man and I'm still winning races for you. And he said, yes. And I said to him, thank you very much. Thank you for having me around from I was young and now I'm up in years and you still have me around. And I said, thank you, and I really appreciate you and I learned a lot from you. And he said, thank you, Mr. Miller. Yes.
Just for the record, tell us what year you started riding. I mean, what age you started riding professionally here?
I would say 12 and a half, 13. Very young.
That's a boy in a big man's world,
Yes,
you know.
very young, very young. Very, very young.
Not to be left out of it, what about grooms?
Grooms, enough respect and love to the grooms. Because when at those years when I was living at the stable, it's the groom response for me. It's the groom teach me to ride a horse. It's the groom take care of me. So enough respect to the grooms. And as you talk about groom too, I think the groom don't get as much love and don't get as much paid for the hard work that they do. Because I was once a groom, so I know where I'm coming from. So I say the groom, yes, respect and enough love toward the groom, to the grooms. You know, they work hard. You know.
Anyone else you'd like to give a shout out to?
To all the trainers that helped me along the years, great late Wendy Costa, apprentice master, Philip Fiani, Delroy Wallace, Philip Hart, Lyford Hugh, Enos Brown, Fernandez Geddes, and who I forget? Sorry, but those I can call on right now. Yeah.
And I'm sure that, you know, right now you would love if some of those trainers or other trainers would give you the opportunity to at least showcase your talent, your quality on the racetrack.
Yes, I would love that. As you speak about that, Maki, I find the other day, I find my weight come down a little bit. I find myself weighing 52, 52.5. I still check it this morning and I still say 52.5. I'm like, and I don't have to do much, so my weight is more easier. So I would ask any trainer, any owner, you know, if they need a service, I'm here in the morning and on the race day, I'm here, and I would love it because I know I can ride.
Who do you mainly work for now in the mornings?
Philip Fiani, yeah, because he's the one who gives me most of the rides. So I make my point of opportunity to work his horses first in the morning, and anybody who I could get on, I will.
You mentioned some of the best horses you have ridden here, the Monday Mornings, Royal Dad,
Yeah.
and Sky Train. In your estimation, which is the best horse you have seen race here?
Or some of the best.
Or some of the
Some
best?
of the best, Prince Consort, the Viceroy, Royal Dad, She's a Man-Eater, Town Bird, War Zone, Legal Light, Sir Howard, Sky Train, Monday Morning. Those I can remember.
Everton, spills, falls are inevitable in horse racing, and you have had your fair share. Your fair share.
Yes.
But tell us about some of the more serious injuries that you have suffered over the time.
I remember 1980, I think 1983 or 80, I had an injury off of Mr. D, and I had a fall on the rail and get a back injury, even though it still bothered me. I remember in a race I had an injury, and I injured my ribs, my knee, and my back. I get a lot of injury, you know, but thank the Creator, I'm alive.
You would still do it all over?
All over again. I love riding and I love racing. I would do it all over again.
I want you to take a moment
Yes.
and try and recall for us. I'm not going to be hard on you. Tell me the 3 best rides you have put down here at Caymanas.
Skytrain. That's
Which
one.
race?
The I think it's the tropical battery.
What is so special about that one for you to rank?
It was the top horses in the country. And at the time, yes, I was the lightest apprentice, and she was coming to class against the best horses. And the way how I ride the race, the way I executed the race.
Tell us about how you did.
Sit close to the place. I didn't move before or after. I just make the move the perfect time, because I sit close to the place and make the move the last 3 furlong and the last furlong and a half. I get to them and I won the race.
Oh.
So I
How far did you win?
I think 2.5 lengths.
Okay, that's one.
That's one. Shining Hour.
Beating?
Luchipu with George Song. I came to Jamaica for a ride. That's special race.
Is that the race that you took him under the stand?
Yes, yes. I was in Florida, you know. I was in Florida and Mattis called me and tell me that, you know, George Song come back and beating everybody. From left, right, to forward and center. I said, yeah, I love the competition. You know, so I come to Jamaica just to ride George Song. I went up to Plantation Heights and I watched George Song for 3 weeks in my binoculars. And I'm like, yes, he's great, but there was a ride afraid of him. And I come, not afraid of him, and I come and tell him that the day I come and say, George, you know I come to ride you. And George say, yeah, and laugh for me. And lick him with 3 times and in boots. And I said to myself, say, him laughing at me, so him no believe him, say, him come for ride. And I did ride him. I did ride him that day.
Because if my memory serves me right, you both entered the straight almost on the rails.
Yes, outside the rails.
Inside rails.
Outside, yeah.
You
And we
ended
ended
up outside.
rails.
Right.
Yeah. And the race was a mile. You know, so that was, I think that's the best ride.
Okay. And then number 3 now?
And number 3, Ricochet.
Ricochet. Kenneth Mattis. Philly.
Why Ricochet was one of the best rides too. Ricochet had get interference. Didn't have any chance. We were from around the back and still came back and win. And the ride was an excellent ride too, because.
Who did you beat? You remember?
No, I didn't remember who I beat.
Was this before she won the Guinness or after she won the Guinness?
I think it's after she won the
After
Guinness.
she, more than likely, yeah.
Yeah.
So those 3
Yes,
come to
those
mind
3,
readily.
yeah. Overseas, I can't remember one race that bring the crowd, the stand buzzing at Calder racetrack when I ride Greg at Baton. I win my first race and I beat Mikey Lee. He was the champion jockey at the time. I remember that one.
Oh, far gone into your riding career was that?
That was in 18.
In the 80s?
89.
Okay, so you had not even gone 10 years riding?
Yeah.
And you brought the house down in
Yes.
at Calder?
Yeah.
Well, what a way to end this interview. Everton, thanks man. We have enjoyed you over the years and long may it continue.
And I want to thank you for this interview, and thanks you guys doing a great work. Keep on doing the work that you're doing. It's good for the industry, it's good for horse racing.
Thank you for watching another video produced by the team from quickgallopjaya.com and its YouTube channel, The Quick Galloper. Please stay on the channel for other enlightening videos on those involved in local horse racing. Please like, subscribe, and press the notification bell.